Elara had spent 22 years behind the reinforced glass of the sanctuary, a climate-controlled biodome designed to protect those with extreme environmental sensitivities. To her, the world was a series of high-definition live streams and the smell of recycled, triple-filtered air. The breach happened at 3:14 a.m. A localized tectonic shift cracked the sanctuary's foundation, triggering an emergency evacuation. Before the automated systems could seal her transport pod, a jagged shard of debris jammed the door. Elara stumbled out not into another sterile room, but into the raw, unfiltered night of the Pacific Northwest. Her first sensation wasn't fear. It was a violent assault on her senses. The air was the first shock. It wasn't the weightless nothing of the dome. It was heavy, damp, and smelled aggressively of decaying pine needles and wet stone. Every breath felt like drinking thick, cold water. Without the hum of the industrial purifiers, the silence of the woods was deafening, punctuated only by the terrifying, erratic scuttle of wind through the undergrowth. She stood trembling in a thin hospital gown, her skin, which had never felt a temperature fluctuation of more than 2 degrees, suddenly blooming with goosebumps. The cold was a physical weight, a predator pressing against her ribs. She looked down at her bare feet. They were pressed into real dirt. It was gritty, cold, and uneven, a jarring contrast to the seamless polymer floors of her life. As the sun began to rise, the vulnerability shifted from physical to existential. In the sanctuary, Elara was the center of a curated universe. Here, she was invisible. A hawk circled overhead, indifferent to her medical history. The vastness of the horizon, no longer clipped by a curved ceiling, made her feel dangerously small, as if she might simply float off the surface of the earth if she didn't hold onto a tree. But then, a sensory detail hit her that no speaker or screen could replicate. The sun broke over the ridgeline, and for the first time, Elara felt actual radiance. It wasn't the static glow of LED panels. It was a moving, pulsing warmth that sank through her skin and into her bones. She was terrified. Her immune system was likely reeling, and she was entirely alone. Yet, as she watched a single drop of dew roll off a leaf unscripted and perfect, she realized that for the first time in her life, she wasn't just observing the world. She was finally a part of its friction.